Good morning. My name is Michael Hatch, and I'm with the Canadian Credit Union Association. CCUA represents nearly 200 cooperatively owned financial institutions all across Canada. Our members control nearly $300 billion in assets and provide millions of Canadians with the financial services that they need. Credit unions are the only financial institutions in nearly 400 Canadian communities. We provide some of the only competition to Canada's large banks, the multinational profit-driven behemoths that dominate financial services in Canada. Our members are fully Canadian-owned. They're owned by the people that bank with them. Credit unions provide hundreds of millions of dollars in dividends and support to communities all across Canada every year. We need a policy landscape in Canada that allows credit unions to continue to thrive and provide competitive financial services to Canadian consumers, small businesses, and communities. Today we have nearly 50 credit union sector leaders in Ottawa to talk to parliamentarians from all parties about just that issue. When Ottawa is designing policy or regulations for the financial sector, too often it thinks only of a very small number of institutions. In the early days of the pandemic, for instance, the CCUA Small Business Loan/Free Money program was to be delivered only through the large banks. This was a near existential problem for the credit union sector, and only the most egregious example of Ottawa treating the sector as consisting of only 5 banks. When the government enacted the emergency measures in 2022, banks were at the table regarding the financial sector components of those measures before other players in the sector. Right now, the federal government is in the midst of several policy processes that will have a major effect on the sector and Canadians' ability to access competitive financial services. Open banking, the statutory review of the Bank Act, and other legislation, and new privacy legislation will all have major impacts on the sector in the years to come. Our message to you and to policymakers is simple. Credit unions must be at the table when Ottawa is developing legislation and regulations for the financial sector, and when the government is delivering programs through and with the assistance of the sector. Most credit unions are provincially regulated, but what happens in Ottawa has an impact on all Canadians and all credit unions. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, so we're going to be starting the question period. So if people joining us on Zoom, this is a reminder, if you have a question, please use the raise hand function. Pour les gens qui nous joignent sur Zoom, s'il vous plaît, utilisez la fonction main levée si vous avez une question.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you.